What's going on, guys? This is your motivation guy. That's right, your friend, the one and only Keith Allen, and I'm so hyped about this video. Welcome back to another video from ProGuides. Okay, so today we have an extra special guide for you guys. All right, with the release of Ranked, we wanted to share some of our tips to help you guys escape low elo. But before we get into the video, you know what time it is. All right, it's time for the question of the day. Today's question is, where did you get placed in Ranked? Or if you haven't completed your placements yet, where do you think that you're going to get ranked? It is so important, man, to keep in mind that rank will be flexible for this first week, so it doesn't really matter where you got placed initially, but it can still be annoying to get placed well below your skill level. Come on now. Make sure to leave your answer to the question of the day in the comments down below, and with that, it's time to start the video. But before we do all that, it's time to sit back, relax, and grab some of my favorite candy. What is that, y'all? It's that Bunch of Crunch. I think it's time to start the video. Let's get this going. First up today, we have communication. Oh my goodness, so important. Communication is honestly probably the most important thing to master if you are stuck in silver or below. Generally at these ranks, mechanical skill is pretty low on both teams, so teamwork ends up winning games more often than not, right? If you have a microphone, plug it in and just see if it works. As long as your words are understandable, you should be okay. And if they aren't, you can always pick up a pretty cheap mic off Amazon or eBay, all right? Now that you have secured a mic and you can now talk to your team, what should you talk about? Well, if you feel like being a leader, you can always take control of a match and just start trying to give basic callouts and strategy. You don't need to brainstorm anything super complex, but getting your team to work together and at least coordinate simple things like putting smokes down, then pushing into a site goes a long way in solo queue. So if you start getting people who are toxic or are only using their mic to tilt your team, be sure to make use of the mute button, okay? There is nothing wrong in muting a player who obviously doesn't, really want to play by the team rules or simply wants to just tilt your team into losing the game. If you don't feel like being a leader and making those important calls, no problem. I get it. I understand. Just make sure that you are at least calling out your team, the things that you see so they can use the information for themselves. If you do have someone on your team that is trying to lead, give them verbal feedback so they know you heard them, and they will also be helpful for the team as well and the team morale, as it shows the team is working together and might inspire more of your teammates to start speaking up and giving their own call outs. Okay guys, so another huge part of climbing out of low elo is improving your mechanical skill to be able to hold your own against tougher players. Warming up is the first step to aim training, and I think that everyone should be doing it no matter what skill level you are. Okay, so warming up can be something as simple as just spending 10 minutes in the shooting range shooting at easy bots, or as difficult as you want it to be in some third-party aim trainer. Generally, warming up for anywhere between 10 to 30 minutes before you start your rank grind is probably the thing to do. And just feel free to do much more if you want, all right? Even spending 10 minutes in the range shooting the bots will show a noticeable improvement from when you start playing versus not warming up, okay? While warming up, it is important to know that you are training as you are warming up, okay? If you're shooting bots, you are probably training your flick aim, right? If you are shooting at the giant target, you are most likely improving your recoil control. If you are doing the spike plan and diffuse scenarios, you are training your pre-aiming and game sense. If you ever feel that you are not performing well in any of these aim categories, the next time you warm up, try to do the exercise that corresponds to the weakest part of your aim so that you can improve it, for when you start playing those ranked matches, okay? So a lot of people tend to skip over movement as they are climbing the ranks, as they don't see it as an important skill to train like aim or game sense. However, I think movement is one of those things, man, that separates a good player from a great player. Movement, especially in a game like Valorant, is a very hard skill to find obvious ways to improve on, right? But there are still some things that you can do if you plan to master movement. Firstly, try this, all right? Try learning how to bunny hop. We're not going to be going super in depth on how to bunny hop in this video, as it's a topic big enough for its own video, but we're going to touch on the basics, okay? So if you want to see us put out a full video on bunny hopping, be sure to let us know in the comments. Please do that, okay? We'll do it. In order to bunny hop, you need to input a jump to get into the air, okay? While in the air, you want to move to the left or right using your movement keys while also moving your crosshair in the same direction. What this will do is give you some air acceleration, which actually ends up being slightly faster than running. In order to preserve this momentum though, all right, you need to make sure you enter another jump right as you touch the ground, or you're just going to lose all the air acceleration and momentum you had. So bunny hopping shooting isn't the only thing that can improve your movement either, okay? Like simple things like being able to crouch jump on a box to keep yourself less exposed, or even something as simple as just strafing in a gunfight can all help you improve your movement the more and more you use these techniques in an actual match. So if you find that you're struggling with your movement and you wish you had someone to help you get better, fear not, my friends. All right, check out ProGuides.com, where we are offering on-demand coaching like right now. Chat with any of our high elo coaches and find the one that really works right with you, and then hop right into a session and just learn what you can do to improve. Link is in the description down below, my friends. So be sure to check it out after this video is over. You got it? Cool. Okay, yes, abilities and ultimates, the cornerstone of Valorant and what makes it so unique. Too bad I've never seen people using their dang on ultimates because they never think it's the right time to use it until the half is already over. We get that you want to save your ultimate, okay, I get it too, but for that perfect 1v5 situation where you'll look like a boss for sweeping the floor with the enemy team, but when you're in a solo queue, it's almost always better to use your ultimate when you see an opportunity to use it rather than just saving it for a later time, okay? Saving your ultimate for too long can also reduce the impact of kills. Since your ultimates go off an orb system and getting kills gives you an ultimate orb, if you're popping off in a match and you're just fragging out, it's better to use your ultimate whenever you have it up, to get the full value of the kills you're getting. Plus, it's always more frustrating for the enemy team to have to deal with 3 or 4 of the same ult every half instead of one really good use of the ultimate. If you're struggling to find a good time, to use your ultimate, then just head into some unrated matches and just start using your ultimate every round you have it up. This will not only force you to get into the habit of using your ultimate more, but it's also going to force you to find new spots and ways to use your ultimate that you may not have found otherwise. All right, guys, so hear me out on this one, okay? Remember, this is your motivation guy, all right? I'm here. The best way to improve at Valorant, or really anything for that matter, is to just put the time into practicing and playing the game. Whew, everyone say practice. So important, man. I'm not saying that you have to put in, 12 hours a day to get out of silver, but if you do really want to rank up fast, you have to be willing to put the time and effort into playing matches and learning from them, okay? So the best practices are always the ones where you go in knowing what you want to practice, but sometimes you can still get a lot of practice out of just playing a match and just keeping track of what's happening. So if you turn your brain off while playing and you go full autopilot, you're not going to be able to go anywhere skill-wise, as you are not learning anything new, and instead you're just letting your instincts just take over the entire match. All right, just constantly be asking yourself questions like, am I in the best position right now? Can I get flanked? And if so, how? And my personal favorite is this one, all right? What led me to dying here? Constantly asking yourself questions, guys, about your playstyle mid-match is actually a lot like doing a demo review, but in the middle of the game. I personally think the most important question to ask yourself is, what led to me dying here? Every single time you die, you figure out the sequence of events and decisions that led to you dying. And then you're gonna start to find a pattern of the mistakes that you make, and the first step to fixing a bad playstyle or habit is to recognize it. So once you have recognized the problems, you can start to work on it even as you're playing. So practicing outside of just in a match, man, that's gonna yield even better and faster results. So if you're an avid Twitch chatter, then you might already have this one down. But for anyone who is just getting into Valorant or the world of Twitch, I recommend finding one pro player or content creator that you enjoy and just watching them semi-regularly. What is amazing about live streaming is that, you can just go watch the best players in the world practice and just see how they approach situations differently than you would. If you don't have the time to constantly be watching on Twitch or, binging their YouTube channels, then at least try to tune into some of the larger, tournaments or streams where you can just see all the different strategies and plays that the pros are making. Try to pay attention as well to what lines of sight they block when trying to get into a site, how they utilize different agents to be the most effective in a given situation, and even their ability usage and how often they opt to save an ability for later versus when they decide to just let everything rip. Some of the best that you can watch right now are Hiko, or Hiko, one of them, Shroud, Skadoodle, Tins, Food, Brax, and Dizzy. If I didn't cover your favorite streamer, I'm really sorry about that, okay? I just wanted to throw some of the big names out there, so anyone who isn't sure who to watch has some options, okay? If you want to learn a bit more about Shroud, Hiko, and Brax, be sure to check out our pro settings videos where we go through each of those players' mouse and keyboard settings. Okay, so truly the easiest way to get out of low elo is to just find someone to queue with, right? We know it's not easy, and I personally understand it's not easy to find, friends that play the same game that you do. I get it. But if you are friendly and a team player in your matches, you are bound to make a friend or two along the way. So make sure that you're going to dual queue with someone that you both play different agents, and just make sure that you two are actually good talking to each other. I've seen too many duos that don't actually communicate and wonder why they keep losing matches. The reason that having a duo partner is so impactful is so that you two can just share information quickly, and hopefully you two don't play the same agents. Okay, so when you are duo queuing though, that doesn't give you an excuse to not be making call outs for your team just because two of you are queued together. Try to keep making sure, guys, that you are providing information and call outs for your team. But know that you have at least one teammate in the game that you can rely on, all right? Try to be actively coordinating things with your duo partner even if your team isn't listening. And even just 2 or 3 people working together on a team can be the difference between victory and defeat. All right, guys, once again, this is your motivation guy. That's right, your friend, the one and only Keith Allen, man. I'm rooting for you guys. Hope you guys be great, not only in this game, but also in life. So keep going, whatever's in your way. Don't give up, and don't ever surrender. All right, guys, well, that's it for today. Be sure to check out the link in the description to our website and our amazing coaches. And, while you're heading down there, why not consider hitting that like button and just, like the video, and maybe even consider subscribing, you know what I mean? Because we would love to see more of you soon, all right? Well, stay tuned for more amazing videos. Peace.